Does it feel like every year you're caught off guard with irregular cash flow? As if the ups and downs in your business come to you as a surprise, like the ups and downs of revenue? The truth is, the problem isn't just the fluctuations, it's the disconnect from your numbers, keeping you from spotting opportunities to maintain, to grow, and to scale your business. In today's episode, I'll show you how you can finally make sense of your financial data so that you can set and finally accomplish your revenue goals this year. Stay tuned. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Harmonious Wealth. My name is Iyanna Vaughn. We are in season 3, which is crazy. By the grace of God, we made it. We made it to season 3. This season 1 was really intro to me. Season 2 was about womanhood and wealth. And season 3 is going to be all about like really understanding how to really connect with your numbers. So we're going through all the financial reports, literally line by line, so that you can really understand and grasp these concepts. Because I know when you're growing your business past a certain threshold, it's going to be vital to really be intimate with your numbers and really understand what's performing the best. But before we get really started, I want to share with you something really special. So, if you're feeling just kind of like you are experiencing year after year just that fluctuation of like irregular cash flow, I have a special tool for you. So, the Harmonious Cash Flow Planner is designed to give you clarity, to give you structure and actionable steps to maintain your finances and hit your goals with confidence. Stick around to the end of the episode, and I'll tell you exactly how you can get your pretty hands on it so that you can transform your business finances today. So, we're going over the 3 things you must know about revenue in your business. And the first thing you need to know is what it is, and you need to track it. At its core, revenue is really the total income that your business receives from your like products, from your services before expenses. And when you have different income streams, you're able to tell where they're coming from versus like one line item. And the downfall of only recognizing your revenue is it doesn't tell a full picture. It's revenue is typically used as a vanity metric, and you're usually just like exactly what you made in revenue, but you have a tough time knowing what you've made in profit. But we're not talking about profit today, we're talking all about revenue. We're going to give revenue its time. And I'm just thinking about conversations I've had, or even before they people become a client. On an intake form, I typically ask someone, a potential client, what was their revenue for the past year? And then like what's really important is like what is your average monthly revenue? Because things kind of go up and down and sporadic and a bit, right? So to really pinpoint where your like how much revenue you're making a month, to gauge like what type of things that you're coming up against based on this revenue mark in your business. And, when we dig a little bit deeper on the sales call, or even like during our profit planning session, I'm able to just kind of gauge like where are some things that are coming from revenue. It's like you're working so hard as an owner to make and maintain that revenue, and you're only using it or utilizing that revenue to pay your team. And that, it's hard to pay yourself, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So when you're only looking at revenue, right? It's just the first step of your business. Literally, step 1 of business is the revenue that you earn. I didn't make that up. I'm just saying. And when you really understand like the other areas of your business besides revenue, or even digging deeper into your revenue with your revenue streams, you'll be able to really grasp where your money is coming from. I know that when someone just looks at their payment processor versus like in Stripe, or they look at their PayPal, if you had a central like place for truth for your revenue, like a bookkeeping system, think QuickBooks Online, think Xero, that's Xero, which is like what is my favorite. You'll be able to really understand all like holistically everything that you received from your numbers. The second thing you must know about your revenue are the categories so that you can properly assess it. So when it comes to like coaches, you might have one-on-one coaching, you might have group coaching. And one of the biggest mistakes is just having one one line item for services or one line item for sales, that's not telling you anything. So it's going to be extremely important to have like your different categories in your bookkeeping system so that you can know exactly where things are coming from. And when you break things down by categories, you have clarity. You know what your primary revenue drivers are in your business. You know which offerings are performing the best. So I'm a girl who loves percentages. They run my life in a way because if I think of a percentage that gives me a benchmark on like how things are and how are they performing in comparison to like your holistic picture. So say if your all of your revenue categories equal up to 100%, what is the top driver? What is that costing you like with your time? Like what like are you pricing accurately? That's going to really take a picture when you have different categories in your business. Also, what are your low performing offers? Are you offering low ticket like digital products as like a lead magnet? That could be one thing. Or are you spending so much effort on things that is not necessarily driving revenue in your company? Maybe say, for example, like if you have a membership community and it's not driving the revenue like you desire, you can assess kind of like, okay, without putting the emotion into it objectively, this line item is giving me 50%, whereas the other is giving me 2. And I feel like I'm working 80% for that 2% of revenue, and it is driving me bonkers. So, really understanding your different categories. And then when it comes to revenue, especially with categories, like what is recurring and what is one time? And that's exactly where you see the fluctuation of cash flow. Say you have a goal of making $250,000 in revenue, right? You're not going to split 250,000 divided by 12. It's really going to, especially if you have like a business that builds on retainer, you're going to start somewhere and then you're going to grow steadily, or you might have projects that kind of comes in chunks, and then you might have seasons where things slow down, but you need to really understand where your revenue is coming from, the seasonality of your business, and what's recurring and what is one time. Having those things in mind can help you master your revenue in your business. And what's really important is measuring all of your revenue categories against your goals in business. And that way, when you look at your revenue, you can see like, do you need to improve pricing? Do you need to like improve marketing? Like, are you having trouble with leads? Is it a sales problem versus a revenue problem? Like, a sales problem is, are you making sales? Are you closing the deal? Are you converting people from a prospect to a client or a lead to a prospect? And then if it's a revenue problem, are you having trouble maintaining your profitability because you didn't price the way that you need to, right? So, just to tie this all back to like some clarity, you need to understand your categories in your business revenue. So, the third thing that you need to understand about revenue is how you compare the seasonality of your company to reduce that overwhelm and that emotion. I teased that in like the second when I talked about categories. Okay, can you make me a promise? Let's stop overreacting when we have slow months, and let's stop also overestimating our peak months in our business. While it's vital to really understand your seasonality, when you make decisions off of emotions, it really shows up in your finances and it really shows up in your energy. Um, when you're overworked, so say when you have that fluctuation, you find yourself in desperation during those slow months, and then you find yourself just procrastinating during those larger months where you just feel like, all right, now I can be at ease, and it's like you're just stopping and going and stopping and going, and it just feels overwhelming. So it's important to identify like trends, like looking at historical data. Let's say, for example, if you own a salon business and you know that you have a peak season during back to school months, or like the holiday season, and then things kind of slow down during the summer. Like, what are some things that you can do to kind of fill in those gaps in the summer, and then also make sure that you're fully staffed and prepared during those peak seasons so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to make the most sales possible? Or if you are a coach, what are some things that, you have different months where you're launching, and you know, um, when you're launching, you're just putting all that energy, exerting so much energy, but then the next couple of months, your cash flow is depleted because you underestimated like the number of people who pay in full versus like have a payment plan, and you don't have anything as like a downsell afterwards to make sure that you're able to maintain revenue throughout the rest of that slower season after your launch. How can you plan in advance some of the things without like implement without thinking in real time? Because when you think in real time, you're just scrambling and you're just trying to make things work, trying to make two things shake. While I could respect the hustle, when you just, want to, you are an entrepreneur, you know how to make things work and get to it. What if we created a way to strategically plan for these times in our businesses? What if? Quick question. Do you ever find yourself making business decisions based on emotions instead of your numbers? Let me know in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube, or send me a DM on Instagram. We're Harmonious Wealth on Instagram. I'd love to help you navigate this. Ready to take control of your cash flow and finally stop being surprised by the numbers? The Harmonious Cash Flow Planner is your step by step guide to tracking, assessing, and optimizing your finances with ease. Whether you're dealing with seasonal revenue dips or planning for growth, this planner can help you turn the chaos into clarity. Grab your copy today and make cash flow harmony your superpower this year. Visit lovelyfinancials.com/planner or click the link in the show notes to get started. If you're a woman growing your business and family and you want to release the worry around your money in your business so that you can build personal wealth and create a legacy, subscribe either on YouTube or subscribe anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. I'm on a mission to help 100 women reach 1 million at least in net worth so that they can create generational wealth and break bad generational patterns. If this aligns with you, I'd love for you to be a part of our community. So tune in to listen to more episodes of Harmonious Wealth. Thank you.